Hello friends, Derek here from B.O.M Socks with more B.O.M Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ one bite at a time. So we're concluding this week of studying Philippians and Colossians. Just a short little message today that I think will bless your lives. We talked yesterday about the idea of what words would we like people to use about us. And we went through so many cool things in the book of Colossians, like being grounded and settled, being rooted and built up and established in the faith of Jesus Christ. Well, you go into chapter 3 and there's one way that I think can bring a lot of this together. You go to verse number 16 and it says, "Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord." I think that's so cool to be able to have that in you at all times. When you don't have the scriptures in front of you, you have them with you, in you. Paul is just like, hey, let the word of Christ be in you. And one of the ways that you can do it is through singing and teaching one another through hymns and spiritual songs. So a question I have for you here is, what words of Christ would you teach and admonish others from the hymns to help us become more like the things that we just talked about? This would be great for a classroom. If you guys have to teach a lesson, you can just pull up the hymn book and be like, hey, what is a hymn that's out there that you would use to teach people about Jesus Christ? Or what would you teach and admonish people to be able to be a little bit more rooted and grounded and settled in their faith? I mean, there's 341 hymns you can play with there that are awesome. One of the things I would recommend doing is you could go to, it's kind of uncharted territory for most members of the church. It's called the First Presidency Preface. Now again, this hymn book was done back in 1985, and there's some cool things in here. So I would recommend reading through this. You can actually go to your Gospel Library app and you go under hymns, and then you go down to what's called Using the Hymn Book. Now it's broken up into 3 different sections. It's called Music in Our Church Meetings, which is so cool, Music in Our Homes, and then Music in Our Personal Lives. So I think Paul is trying to teach here about how to use it maybe in our personal lives. Again, read all of these. They're so good. In addition to blessing us as church and family members, the hymns can greatly benefit us as individuals. Hymns can lift our spirits, give us courage, move us to righteous action. They can fill our souls with heavenly thoughts and bring us a spirit of peace. Hymns can also help us withstand the temptations of the adversary. We encourage you to memorize, that idea of having them in you. Memorize your favorite hymns, study the scriptures that relate to them. Then if unworthy thoughts, and I would even say when unworthy thoughts enter your mind, sing a hymn to yourself, crowding out the evil with the good. And I think that's so cool to be able to use these to be able to teach and admonish one another, including ourselves. Now, many of you know we have a new hymn book coming out starting this next year in 2024. There's some great articles. You can go to the church news about this. It says, "New hymn book seeks to unify members and bring spirit into homes." So the purpose of the hymns has never changed. It's all been to be able to build up and strengthen us. And they're really going to focus on how to utilize these hymns in our homes. Again, it's one thing to just sing them, at our sacrament meetings once a week, but you utilize these hymns and really use them to be able to bless your life, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord. There's some power that can come from these. So I'm grateful that there's going to be a new hymn book coming out. I am grateful for the hymns that we have, and I am excited to see what is in store for us as a church with what the hymns can do for us. I imagine it will do what verse 17 in Colossians 3 suggests. "Whatsoever you do in word and deed, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God and the Father by him." I love how what we've talked about this week is just Paul focusing on, look, if you will put your focus on Jesus Christ, you can do all things through him, you can be content through him, and you can have all of these wonderful qualities that will be able to help you have greater faith and be able to be rooted and established and grounded and settled in Jesus Christ. I am grateful for him. I'm grateful that he is that way for me in my life. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks as always for sharing. We are so grateful that you do that. And of course, please go check out our amazingly comfortable gospel themed socks at bombsocks.com. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Godspeed. Take care. Bye-bye.